Hi everybody, Matt Bernier here in the Daily Racing Forum studios, joined by DRF's national handicapper Mike Watchmaker. We're taking a look at this week's Watchmaker Watch, and the Watchmaker Watch is updated every Monday. You can find it over on DRF.com. Mike goes through all the different divisions that we have, and he gives you updated rankings as far as what he thinks the pecking order should be for some of these. And Mike, coming off the heels of Belmont Stakes weekend, had some major changes, including the older males, where Mor Spirit put on a show on the Met Mile.
He really did, Matt. He was so impressive. I mean, Sharp as Tecker ran one of his best races, and Mor Spirit still beat him by the length of the stretch and earned a 117 buyer figure in the process, only a 117. It was a very impressive performance, his third straight, and he made a big leap in the older male division. He went from 6th the previous week up to number 3. Of course, Arrogant is number 1, and Gunrunner is number 2. But Gunrunner runs this weekend on the Stephen Foster, so we'll have to see what happens there.
Not a bad time to be Bob Baffert or any of the horses in his barn as Mor Spirit airs in the Met Mile. As far as the 3-year-olds are concerned, the Triple Crown is now concluded. Todd Pletcher, he gets 2/3 of the Triple Crown with 2 different horses. Tapwrit wins the Belmont Stakes.
Well, you win the Belmont Stakes and you automatically get into the top 4 of the Watchmaker Watch. That's the way I look at it. I mean, you know, it was the Belmont Stakes that was missing the Kentucky Derby winner and missing the Preakness winner. And the Kentucky Derby winner, Always Dreaming, is number 2, and Cloud Computing, the Preakness winner, is number 3, and Tapwrit moves up. He was originally 10th. He moves up to number 4. I kept Classic Empire on top. Because I honestly think, don't forget, this isn't like a Clips Award ballot. This is my opinion. It's a combination of what I think about the divisions, at least from a championship perspective, but also a combination of who I think is the best horse. And I still suspect that Classic Empire might be the best horse. And I find it kind of interesting that you know, the NTRA conducts their own poll, and during the first part of the year they have a 3-year-old poll, and that before the Belmont Stakes, Classic Empire was number 1 and Always Dreaming was number 2, and after the Belmont Stakes, after neither one of them ran, Always Dreaming became number 1 and Classic Empire was no longer number 1, and I don't understand that. I mean, I had Classic Empire over Always Dreaming, you know, going into the Belmont, and I'm keeping it that way.
We talk about how sort of tumultuous these 3-year-olds have been thus far. The older turf males not far behind, a lot of up and down sort of performances and potentially missing some time, particularly with a horse that you were interested in, Almanar.
Well, Almanar was my previous number 1, and he hasn't had a published workout in 2 months, and that's never a good sign. So I thought that he ran the best race I've seen a turf horse run this year when he won the Gulfstream Park Handicap. But like I said, he hasn't worked in 2 months, and that's, you know, a red flag. So, and I just felt that this division it's such a scramble. I mean, it's so wide open, it's so much up in the air that I thought there was time for a turnover. So at this particular point in time, I moved Bala Bali, who was previously ranked 4th, up to the top spot, because at least he has won 2 Grade 1 races this year on turf, the Shoemaker and Kilroe Miles. And Ascend won. He was a big upset winner of the Manhattan on Belmont Stakes Day, but the Manhattan's a very good race, and I thought he upset a very strong field. So I brought Ascend in brand new, and he comes in at number 2. But, you know, like I said, this division, this older turf male division, is a total scramble. And, you know, I think it's ripe for the picking. I mean, if Juddmonte wants to send somebody seriously half good over from Europe, or if Aidan O'Brien wants to bring somebody, you know, that's halfway decent from Europe, they're going to have their way with this group.
The Watchmaker Watch is updated every Monday on DRF.com. This upcoming weekend, we have Stephen Foster night down at Churchill Downs, so we'll find out if there are any changes in Mike's divisional rankings going forward into next week. Mike, we'll talk again next week.
Thanks, Matt.